Welcome to another installment of Employee Termination Tips. My name is Christopher Neufeld of Neufeld Legal. In this particular video, we'll be discussing the fact that not all employment standards legislation is equal. And what do I mean by this? Well, what I'm talking about is the fact that every jurisdiction, and in Canada we're talking about every province, in the US, every state, has their own particular employment standards legislation that governs the specifics as to termination, severance, and other payroll matters. And the fact of the matter is, even though there are similarities between them, there are significant differences that do exist. And it is in these differences where there are legal issues that do arise between the various provinces or states, and it provides a basis for which an employee, especially an employee who's been terminated, fired, or otherwise let go from their job, can challenge their former employer where the employer has been using a inappropriate employment standards legislation directive, guidance, principles, math, formulas to undertake their determination of employee pay, in particular pay with respect to termination pay in lieu of notice, but also other aspects. And this is particularly true where you as the employee are working in one jurisdiction and the decisions on payroll, determinations of payroll, are largely emanating from another jurisdiction. So if you're working in the province of Alberta, the determinations are made out of Ontario, and where the employer is unfortunately making the mistake of utilizing Ontario's Employment Standards Act as opposed to Alberta's Employment Standards Code for determining calculations, making formulas, making payments, there could be a solid legal basis for you to challenge them, given the fact there is a possibility, and in truth, a stronger than likely possibility, that they are utilizing the wrong set of formulas. The same can apply in the United States, where if you live in one state, your payroll is coming out of another state, and they're not addressing your particular state's requirements, you could be capable of legally challenging them to ensure that you get the full amount that you are due. And that's what's critical. We're looking for getting what's fully due because there's differences in the amounts that are due to employees based on statutory requirements and even on the basis of what the common law provides. And the ineffectual use of the employment standards legislation can lead to protections that might otherwise exist for employers being lost and subjecting them to even greater ability to be pursued on the common law fronts. So you've got to be aware of the fact that all employment standards legislation is not created equal. And from the perspective of a fired employee, important point to know, an important point to be dealing with when you're dealing with your termination and severance. Thank you.